Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another Harry Potter special. It's been a while since I did one and I'm very excited to do it again. For those of you who are Harry Potter fans, this is good news. For everybody else, don't worry. I know I haven't posted in a few days, but I'm going to post another video shortly after this one that has nothing to do with Harry Potter. So bear with me, there will be more to come. But yeah, back to Harry Potter. So, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I have made the decision to reread all the Harry Potter books and watch all the films, and then, see what are the differences, look up some fun facts, and I want to present all that to you in this video. So the last month I reread Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban and rewatched the movie. And there were a lot of differences that I'm gonna go over in a few seconds, and I also prepared some fun facts for you. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this. And yeah, let's just get started right away. So I made a little list of notes that I'm going to go over because there are a lot of points I want to hit and I don't want to forget any of them. So don't be surprised if I keep looking down at this little list. I just want to make sure I cover everything. All right, so to me, the third Harry Potter is really different from the first two in that it's a lot more complex, the story. It's getting a lot darker. We're not really in the childhood anymore. We're more in the puberty stage of Harry Potter, and the dangers become a lot more severe. And also there's a lot more mythology in a way. We are exposed to new creatures, to new classes, skills that a wizard can have, and I love all of that. And I want to say that Harry Potter, the third one, is really, to me, one of the best ones. I think probably my second favorite book and movie of all of them. I just love the time travel aspect of it. And so, yeah, I just wanted to say that first in at front. What I also want to say is that I'm not going to explain the story at all. I'm just going to assume that those of you who are watching this video are really Harry Potter fans and know the story. So I'm just going to jump to the differences. I'm not going to really explain what everything means and the storyline. So, as every Harry Potter, we start off in the Muggle world. Harry is with his aunt and uncle, and here I have a first fun fact for you. So Harry's cousin, Dudley Dursley, the actor in the movie who portrays him, he lost a lot of weight between the second and the third movie, and the character in the book is really heavy. So they actually thought about recasting the role, but instead they found another solution, which was that the actor had to wear a fat suit. I thought that was really funny. I don't know if you can tell watching the movie, I didn't pay attention, but that is what he had to do. And yeah, so Harry is at his uncles and aunts, and he's not in the wizarding world, but Ron and Hermione sent him letters and like packages for his birthday. And Ron is actually in Egypt during summer break, and he sends him a package that contains a sneakoscope. Yes, you heard right, sneakoscope. This is not included in the movie at all, but a sneakoscope is basically a ball that lights up when it's close to somebody who's untrustworthy. And in the novel, the sneakoscope lights up twice actually. Once is when it's next to Lupin, who is, I guess, untrustworthy because he doesn't tell them up front that he's a werewolf, and it lights up when it's close to Ron's Ret, who in fact is an animagus and is Peter Pettigrew. So I thought that was neat. And by the way, just to mention it, the fact that Ron is in Egypt in his during his summer vacation plays a major role in the book, because that is how Sirius Black finds out that Peter Pettigrew is still alive. Because there's a picture in the newspaper of Ron's family in Egypt with the red on Ron's shoulder, and Sirius Black in prison sees this picture, and that's what makes him escape. So we don't have this at all in the movie. But yes, as I just mentioned, Sirius Black, this is the main story of the whole novel. The mass murderer, or supposed mass murderer, has broken out of Azkaban. and is on the loose, and everybody's in danger, and especially Harry. That's what everybody thinks. But of course we know Sirius Black is really innocent. But anyways, something very interesting in the book is that the escape of Sirius Black is on the news, on the regular Muggle news on TV, which I thought is funny. They don't mention, of course, where he broke out of. Like, they don't mention Azkaban, that they just say it's a prison, and they don't really, say what his crimes were, except for that he's dangerous. But of course, they don't tell the people that he's a wizard. So I thought that was neat, that even the regular world outside of the wizard's world knows Sirius Black is on the loose. All right, so Harry breaks out. He runs away from home because he just can't stand being with the Dursleys anymore. And he's picked up by the night bus, which is a bus that picks up every stranded witch and wizard and brings them wherever they need to be. And so in the movie, the night bus goes at a crazy speed, between all the cars, and is very fast. And here's another fun fact. They filmed this by basically having all the other cars in the scene go at a very slow speed, very slow, and the night bus at regular speed. And then they just, made the clip faster, and it looks as if the night bus is just going crazy, which I thought that was very neat. That was the filming technique used. Also, another fun fact, Lupin, who appears very soon when Harry and Ron and Hermione get onto the Hogwarts Express. The actor who plays Lupin, he actually auditioned originally to play Professor Quirrell, the antagonist of the first novel. So yeah, I think I'm glad that he ended up being Lupin, because that's his role. That's how we know him. But yeah, initially he auditioned for that. But yeah, let's get back to the story. So when we get to Hogwarts, there's something new. Hermione all of a sudden has a pet. We know that Harry always had Hedwig, oh my goodness. Ron always had his rat, and now Hermione has a cat. And I mention this because in the book, the cat plays a major role. Not in the movie, she's just like an accessory. But in the book, she is basically friends with Sirius Black, and she helps him throughout the novel. Like, she, for example, tries to kill Scabbers, or tries to catch him. Scabbers is Ron's rat, who's Peter Pettigrew. Or she gets passwords for him so he can get into the castle and all that. So the cat is really a main character in the book, which it's not in the movie. All right, something else that's new this year at Hogwarts is that we have the Dementors. The Dementors, who are the prison guards from Azkaban, who are patrolling the campus because they think that Sirius Black might come there and they want to catch him. And I have a few facts here about Dementors. The first one being, so Harry is affected by the Dementors a lot. He faints, or they seem to attack him more than others. And so he tries to learn the Patronus spell, which, repels the Dementors. And Lupin is trying to teach him. In the movie, Harry is able to produce a Patronus fairly quickly, basically at his third try with Lupin. In the book, he is not able to produce a Patronus, and at least a proper one, not till the very end of the book. And the reason for that is that every time when Harry goes near the Dementors or he's fainting, he hears his mother and father screaming. Basically their last words that they spoke, or their last, whatever they said last before they died. And it's a horrible thing to listen to, but it's the only memory Harry has of his parents' voices, of how they actually sounded. So whenever he's trying to produce a Patronus, part of him doesn't want to succeed because he wants to hear those voices, and that's basically why he is not able to. Another thing about Dementors is the Dementor's Kiss. So that's basically their most effective weapon. And I was always just, when you just watch the movie, I was under the impression that a Dementor's Kiss kills you, completely kills you, you're dead. But in fact, that's not the case. You learn in the book that a Dementor's Kiss sucks out your soul. So it leaves back a life, a shell of a body, but you're still alive. Like your body would still function. It's just that your soul is somewhere else. You have no identity, nothing, but your body still functions. All right, another big topic in the book, which is not so big in the movie, is Quidditch. There is a lot of Quidditch in the book. We have a lot of matches that are all described in detail, and there are a few characters introduced in the third one during these matches that we don't see at all in the movie. So the first one being Cedric Diggory. We know Cedric Diggory from the fourth movie where he plays a major role, and he is actually the Hufflepuff seeker and team captain. And so when Harry plays the Quidditch match against Hufflepuff, he meets Cedric Diggory. Also, he meets Cho Chang. Cho Chang, just like Cedric, appears in the fourth novel, and she is the seeker of Ravenclaw. And when Harry plays against Ravenclaw and he sees her, he feels a weird feeling in his stomach, basically hinting at the fact that he likes her a lot and that he is maybe falling in love a little bit. So we already see these things which in the movie don't come up until the fourth one. Yeah, and then there's the final match against Slytherin and Gryffindor wins the House Cup, but it's a big deal in the book, as I said, not in the movie. All right, when we get to the finale, when we get to the last parts, we finally meet Sirius. Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they meet Sirius in the Shrieking Shack, which is the most haunted house in England. And we find out that Peter Pettigrew has been Ron's threat all along, that he's the bad guy, and that he's an animagus. An animagus, just for those of you who don't remember, is a person who can transform into an animal, shapeshift, at will. So, and I'm now going to talk about my favorite fact, which is not really made clear in the movie. And that has to do with the Marauders Map. So, the Marauders Map, when Harry gets it, it's a map that shows all the passages in the castle, shows where everybody is at the present moment. And when Harry sees it, he sees that there are actually secret passageways under the castle that nobody ever told him about, that nobody knows about. And one of these secret passages goes from the Whooping Willow, which is the tree that moves a lot at his own will, to the Shrieking Shack. And as I mentioned, the Shrieking Shack is the most haunted dwelling in England. And yeah, as you can see on the Marauders Map, it says Mrs. Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. And as you know, the names stand for Harry's dad and his friends. So Moony is Lupin, he's the werewolf. Wormtail, that is Peter Pettigrew. Padfoot is Sirius, and Prongs, that's Harry's dad. And so I mentioned the animagus. Hermione is very shocked when she finds out that Peter Pettigrew is an animagus, because she says that the ministry keeps tab on all animagus, and that there have only been 7 in the last century. And now we come to the fun fact. So Harry's dad and his friends, they have all been animagus. So just that's why like the names are important, because Wormtail, that's because Peter Pettigrew is a rat. Prongs, for a dog's foot, that's Sirius. Prongs is, you know, the prongs of a stag. That's Harry's dad. So Harry's dad was an animagus when he was alive and could transform into a stag. And so I thought that was really neat. We never learn about that in the movie. And the reason why they are animagus is, and why there's no tap on them, is because they taught themselves when they were older to become animagus, because they wanted to be there for their friend Lupin, who is a werewolf. Werewolves, other than animagus, cannot transform at will. They transform just, you know, because they have to. And the friends wanted to be there for their friend Lupin, but they couldn't be there for him as humans because it's dangerous to be around a werewolf. So they basically learned to transform into animagus to be with their friend. I thought that was so cool. In the movie, you never learn about this. You never find out that Harry's dad was an animagus, and I think that's pretty cool. Also, fun fact, Harry's Patronus is the shape of a stag. So, you know, like father, like son, I guess. With this being said, Lupin once went to Hogwarts also, and so it's dangerous when one of the students is basically a werewolf. And he is therefore the reason why the Whooping Willow and the Shrieking Shack exist. Because every time when he transformed into a werewolf, he went into the Shrieking Shack through the secret passageway that's under the Whooping Willow. So he can transform there away from people and basically come back when it's safe again. And now, Dumbledore basically planted the Whooping Willow so nobody else would go into the secret passageway, because we know the Whooping Willow is very violent and can destroy you. By the way, there's a button on the tree you can push so it doesn't move anymore. And also the Shrieking Shack is the most haunted dwelling of England because the villagers would hear Sirius screams when he transformed into a werewolf. So yeah, those are some facts that if you've never read the book might blow your mind, because I think they're very important and I don't understand why they're never explained in the movie, but I guess you have to make some cuts. But yeah, that's why I'm telling you about it now. So I love that. I love these explanations. So let's see, what else? So something else that might be interesting to you is everybody in the movie always wonders, how did Sirius Black manage to escape Azkaban? And in the book it's explained. It's because Dementors are the prison guards, as we know, and they suck out happiness of you. When you come close to them, they suck out all the happiness. And that's why all the prisoners at Azkaban basically go crazy at some point, because there's no happiness left. When Sirius went to Azkaban, he was already very unhappy because he was held responsible for the death of his best friends, which he didn't even, a crime that he didn't commit. And he knew who did it and that person got away. So he was miserable, and that's why the Dementors didn't affect him as much. Also, he could transform into a dog, as we know, which is something the Ministry didn't know. And Dementors don't have eyes, so they can't see. They can only sense. And basically he transformed into the dog, and the Dementors didn't see that, and that was his chance of escape. That's the explanation in the book. One other thing, so we know Hermione has the time turner, and they use it in the end to go back in time, and so her and Harry basically save Sirius and everything. And what shocked me in the book, which I never realized before, but during this reread, is how much of this book is dedicated to the time turner. This is all. In the movie, it is such a long section, the going back in time and basically saving everybody. And in the book, it is only one chapter. That really blew my mind. I didn't realize this before, but yeah, the whole time turner story is fitted into these few pages. So yeah, I just wanted to show that because I couldn't believe it. I don't know if it's crazy to you, but it is to me. All right, we're almost at the end. I just want to say a few things, a few more things. One is about some of the actors. So one in particular that stands out is Snape, and there's a slight difference in the book and the movie, which is that in the book Snape is even nastier than in the movie. He is really not a nice guy, and yeah, basically wants Sirius dead, even though he knows that he's probably innocent. He's a very nasty guy, and in the movie he's not portrayed as bad. He's still bad, but not as bad. I remember there's the scene where Lupin transforms into the werewolf and is about to attack Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and Snape even steps in front of them to protect them. So that is all something that the movie producers added that was not mentioned in the book. Also, some other characters are again Percy Weasley, which is who's one of Ron's brothers. He does not appear in the movie at all, and yeah, the character is just cut completely, but in the book he appears a couple of times and has a minor role. And then last but not least, the character of Dumbledore. You may notice when you watch the movies that the actor has changed, the role was recast, and that's because the original actor has died from a disease. He had Hodgkin's lymphoma, and so unfortunately they had to recast, so that's very sad. I do want to say though that I really like the second Dumbledore. I think that he fits very well, and especially the transition from, you know, a quirkier story to going to a darker story, the progression that I talked about in the beginning, I think you can see that also in the Dumbledore. So in a way it did work out, but of course it's sad that that happened. Yeah, and then the last scene, as always, we're back on the train. Harry, Ron, and Hermione are going back home for the summer, and it is here that Ron actually invites Harry to come with him and his family to the Quidditch World Cup, which we know that is how the fourth movie starts, that's how the fourth book starts, so we already have some foreshadowing here. And yeah, that was everything. I can say that I cannot wait to read the fourth book because it is my absolute favorite story in the Harry Potter series. I love it, and I cannot wait. I hope that you will be there when I do my next video, and I of course hope that you enjoyed this one. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, and till next time. Bye bye.